Can we use imagination and time to change things in our life? Well, we can. And there's this thing we're going to talk to you about called NLP Timelines. We're going to talk about how you can use them and how you can use them in hypnosis to help make people's lives better. And with me here, of course, is our wizard, the head trainer, co-founder of Mike Mandel Hypnosis, Mike Mandel. Woo! All right.
So, timelines. This is a great topic. And when I first got involved in timelines a few decades ago, I was astonished because you can do so many things with them. You can get rid of phobias. You can build a more empowering future. You can do all kinds of things. So let's just clarify when we say this. We're talking about our perception of time as human beings.
We're not actually talking about a freaking line that's somehow in your brain or anything like that.
Yeah, we're not talking about getting a time machine and going back into the past, but we can change our perception of it just as though we had a time machine.
Right. Can you tell I'm just dying?
I know.
I'm dying to use this tape measure to gesture, when we get to this.
Gesturing. Okay. So what the heck is it? A timeline, first of all, is based on the idea we tend to imagine time as space around us. Well, that's the fourth dimension, right? Einstein, time-space continuum. What I mean by that is we tend to stack things in our imagination in the space around us, depending on when they happen. So, for example, for many people, the past is behind them. And we even hear this in our speech. Oh, I put that behind me now. I've moved on from that. We also do it in the future. We say, oh, I've got something to look forward to now. This kind of thing. And that's the kind of timeline I have, where the past is behind me. And this is going somewhere. You're going to find out what yours is in a second. The past is behind me and just off my left shoulder. And the future is mostly straight ahead, but off to the right a little bit.
So for you, it's sort of like this.
Put it over my head.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So here we are. Here's Mike's timeline, something like that.
More like that. Wow. Yeah. So behind me to the left, to see a past event, I look that way. A future is over there somewhere. Where is the present? It's where I am. I'm in the present. This is called an in-time timeline, an in-time orientation. And this is a very useful timeline for some purposes. When I jump into a memory, because I'm inside the timeline or it's passing through me, it's imaginary, I know that, but it's how I represent time. When I jump into an event in the past, I am in the event. I'm associated into it. The things are still around me, the house where I lived, all this is there. It's not a picture out in front of me somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can find out for yourself how you represent time, right?
And we'll tell you how.
Yeah, by just asking a few key. In fact, do you want to do that now, or do you want to keep? Okay, let's do that.
The question is a great one. I do not teach timeline therapy, which is a trademark methodology created by the late, great trainer Tad James, who I had so much respect for. He took basic NLP timelines, which is what we're talking about now, and turned it into a complete system that's very, very powerful. And I do it. But this is just the basic stuff that I think Richard Bandler discovered when timelines were first coming in with NLP, maybe in the late 1970s. When we do this, we have to figure out where the past, the future, the present are. And here's the question Tad came up with that I love. Chris, if you were to ask your unconscious mind where the past is for you, which direction would you point?
I already did this because it's sim as you. It's back there.
Somewhere. And Chris, if you were to ask your unconscious mind, notice I'm not telling him to do it. I'm saying if you were to, there's no resistance.
No resistance. Yeah.
Saying the same things to me. Amazing. If you were to ask your unconscious mind what direction the future is for you, which way would you point?
Right out there. It's the same as you. It was freaking me out when you were describing yours. Even though we've talked about this before, I can't remember other people's timelines because, well, we are all selfish and remember our own.
Thank you, Captain Narcissism. So, where is the present for you then?
It's like it's practically on top of me, slightly in front.
So it overlaps you. It's partly inside.
It's just, I would say.
Does any
right here?
Really
this is the present.
So does any part of the timeline pass through your body?
It doesn't seem that it does for me. It's just maybe like a foot not even in front of me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's sounding like you're through time, not in time.
Yeah, it could be.
With a different orientation. Yeah. And that's the other one. So I'm in time. The present is where I am. The timeline passes through me. Future, past. Now, the other major one is called through time, which is he's exhibiting. If none of it passes through you, it's all external to you, that's through time. And through time is mostly, get your tape measure.
Yeah.
It's in front. It can be a line.
Left to right.
Left to right, past, future, present in front, or it can be a V.
Yeah, it can be, I'm bending this. It could be a V, kind of like this.
So the present is in front, but it veers off a bit, or it can actually be a curve. Here's the difference. being in time like I am.
Which is theoretically, classically in time is this, right?
Yeah, it's going through me.
Right through you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if none of it passes through you, you're through time, which is weird.
Yeah, it is.
So,
it is too. Like you're in the timeline. That's where in time comes from, right? Through time is it sort of passes through.
Usually in front
of.
Now, the difference is being in time, like me, your memory is like a movie you're jumping into, the inside of the screen, you're inside of everything. But if you're through time, like Chris is describing, the past is behind you or off to the side slightly, but the present is external to you, usually right in front.
I just got a good way to remember it.
What is that, Chris?
Through time, think of a freight train. If you have to stop for the train tracks, the crossing and all that, and the train's going through the intersection, not through your car, hopefully, right?
Nice.
So through the intersection, train going through
and
through
the way
time.
You're pointing, it's going.
Yeah, I know. I'm pointing the wrong way. I was weirdly thinking about trains whenever I would stop as a kid that would always cross that way.
Interesting. Now, you're left-handed, though.
I'm left-handed.
So which direction is the past for you?
Well, the past is still on the left for me because
some left-handed people it isn't. Do you know why?
No.
Because of the visual accessing cue.
Yeah, I was thinking
the past for a right-handed person is typically to the left.
And I think for most people, it's on the left in the past because we tend to read from left to right.
That's right. Exactly true. Now think about it. So when you have these sort of metaphorical lines around you, when you think of an event, it will be in the past. It'll be off there somewhere. That's the way you'll look and sort of orient yourself, or perhaps back here. Now, people whose timeline is off kilter, for example, we had a friend, Lynn, years ago, had a bad car accident with her husband and her son.
Oh, this is the lady that always say,
yes,
oh, we had
she
this
survived. So they all survived. He lost his spleen, but they all recovered. And I'd see them, this was
years later.
2 years later. Hey, what's new? Oh, we had a car accident. And she started describing it. She's already told us all about it multiple times. Why? I check her timeline. For her, the past was directly in front of her. So the accident was always there. What's the solution? You say to the person, let me just take the end of it. And the beauty of it is, if you don't like this timeline, you can put it back again. If you don't like the change.
Let's
pick up
edit
the end,
this sucker.
Move it back like this so it's now over your left shoulder. How does that feel? She goes, oh, that feels way better. I mean, literally feels better.
Right? Just by having somebody work with their own imagined timeline and imagine that it's in a different location now, reorienting it, that changes the way they feel.
Exactly.
There's also, we did a whole workshop on this when we did AKA Wizard School, or Advanced Hypnotherapy Techniques. It's all of this stuff is included in the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. If you join, you would get the whole class. But we did a whole workshop on timelines.
Yeah.
And you talked about being able to have people, for example, in trance, imagine floating above and seeing their timeline. And let's say they were looking to resolve some sort of past problem like that car accident.
Right.
They would see it from above, and they would do some editing. We won't get into describing
That's beyond the constraints.
But this is interesting because one of the things at the beginning you said, oh, we put the past, put it behind you. But you know what else people say? They say things like, you've got to get over that.
Oh,
because
interesting.
Let's say getting over it, I almost imagine that on that timeline, people are imagining obstacles like in their way that they have to go over in some way.
Oh, yeah, that's intriguing.
It relates to your mind.
You know, Chris, the weirdest timeline I ever ran into, and I've done a fair bit of work with this. I was in Australia having coffee in Sydney with a friend of mine. And this was one of the most creative people I've ever met. I mean, he could do advertising, anything, if he had a job in that field. But he never had any follow through at all. Things always screwed up on him. And I said, where's the future view, the past view, whatever? His timeline was like a drawbridge. It was vertical in front of him. He said, it's covered with broken glass and shards of metal, and I'm walking on it with no boots.
Oh, you think that might cause somebody to not take action? And
definitely it did. Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Hilarious.
But when we change the timeline, even our own, we can try it on for about a week. So, and see if we like it. If not, change it back. Here's your job. Those of you listening, if you were to ask your unconscious mind where the past is for you, what direction would you point? You'd probably do it instantly. And if you were to ask your unconscious mind what direction the future is for you, which direction would you point? And where would you point to if you're asking your unconscious mind where the present is for you? And that will give you the orientation as to whether you're, looking through time or you're in time. In time's like a movie. Through time is like a book, turning the pages of a book in front of you. And they both have advantages. If you want to feel an event very powerfully, switching it to through time, being in time will be much more powerful. You'll be in the event. But some people who get involved in all sorts of problems like addictions, You can get rid of the addiction by simply switching them to through time. So everything is in front of them. They're not going into these deep feeling states.
Very good point.
So look at your own timeline. Imagine you see it. Is the future long or short? If it feels short, extend it, push it out a bit. I told Chris a couple of days ago, I had a friend who said he was just overwhelmed, too much stuff on his plate. I elicited his timeline. He said it ended about here and everything was jammed together.
Oh man,
all I did was
that
take
sucker
the
like
end,
a
stretch
bungee
it out,
cord.
and he went, because he put space between all the things. It's not changed them in his life. It's changed his perception of them.
As Melissa Tears would say, this stuff is all made up. She might say it with a curse word, but this is all made up. It's all imagination. But you know what? It works, right? It changes the way that we represent things in our brain and therefore how we feel and therefore how we behave. And I don't know if you have more you want to say on this.
Just a couple of things you can experiment with and then close it.
Here, I'll tell you what, before you close it, I'm going to say
Chris.
this. There's, like I said, an entire weekend workshop that we taught called Advanced Hypnotherapy Techniques, of which NLP Timelines was a big piece of it. That class and every class that we have ever produced is included in the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy, and you can start for $1. We'll make sure there's a link.
Only
below
a buck?
this video. Yeah, only a buck. Now, you can stay as long as you want. I mean, it's a membership, so you don't have to stick around if you think we're ridiculous and you hate our training. But most likely, you're going to look at it and go, I understand why so many people are saying, I wish I found Mike Mandel Hypnosis first. Not kidding. All right.
Thank you. Nice pitch. So when you figure out your timeline, here's the thing you can do as an experiment. You can lengthen it in the future. How do you feel? You can brighten your future, put some color and sparkles in it, make it more empowering and more exciting. And try the other style. If switch to the one in front of you, if you're in it, or vice versa, and give it a few days and notice how you feel. And if you like it, keep it. You are the author of your own future.
All right. So there you go. NLP and NLP timelines and hypnosis, how to put them together. It's awesome stuff. Learn it, use it. It changes people's lives. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks once again, and good night.